Hi. So my friend, who's taking a world religions class at his local community college, asked me, "Hey Jai, how would you explain Christianity in a religious dialogue?" So I had to think to myself, how would I do that? Hmm. So this is what I told my friend. You would first have to understand where Christianity came from to understand Christianity in itself. So I'm going to tell you guys the answer I told him. So, in the beginning, before Christianity, there was Judaism. Judaism is the monotheistic religion that Christianity stems from. Christianity started as a cult of Judaism. What is Judaism, you ask? Judaism is the oldest monotheistic religion in the world. To give you a little bit of the history, the father of Judaism is Abraham. Abraham was the father of the Jews, and he was the man that God made his second covenant. In total, there are three covenants in Judaism. There's the covenant with Noah, the covenant with Abraham, and the covenant with Moses. Abraham is the person with the second covenant. So God said that I am going to give you a nation of children, so long as you just hold up your end of the bargain. The Abrahamic covenant wasn't really like real. It was real like lopsided in the favor of the Jews. So Abraham had two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. Isaac is where we trace the lineage of Christianity. Isaac had 12 sons. These 12 sons would be known to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So fast forward all the way until around the time of Jesus. We've already had a history of Israel in the Middle East. I mean, of Judaism in the Middle East. So Judaism is the main religion in Israel. At the time, Israel was under the rule of the Romans. So what happened was, according to the book of John, which is the only book that's in the Bible that talks about Jesus' birth. So according to the book of John, Caesar called a census. So for the census to take place, everybody had to return to their place of birth so they could be counted. So the mother of Jesus, the earthly mother, Mary, and the earthly father, Joseph. I say earthly because we all know that Jesus is the Son of God. God put Jesus in Mary, the Virgin. So, Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And once he was born, we knew that there was a Messiah because the three wise men followed the North Star and got to Jesus. So, fast forward from that, Jesus started preaching the word of God. Now, it was very important to understand that Jesus was a Jew. And so he was preaching the word of his father. And this, the way he was preaching was considered radical to the Orthodox Jews, the more commonly known as the Pharisees. It was considered very radical because Jesus was doing things like hanging out with poor people and serving others that were socially beneath him. It was very unorthodox for somebody of his stature to do such a thing. But Jesus did it anyway because he taught a different message. He taught a message of love, of faith, of forgiveness, something that was very just radical to the modern day Pharisees of the time. So they ended up killing Jesus, and they got the Romans to hang him on a cross. Jesus died. 3 days later, he rose from the dead. And that's basically the synopsis for the story of Jesus. Now, Christianity in itself started after Jesus was already dead. The person most responsible for the spread of Christianity was Paul. Paul, formerly known as Saul, was a Jew as well, who spent his life dedicated to killing these Christians, these followers of Christ, until Christ came to him and showed him the true meaning of the word. And once Paul received the meaning of the word, he changed his name to Paul, and he went around on various missionary trips spreading the word of God. In fact, more than half of the New Testament is letters to from Paul to these different churches about the word, about how to live life through God. And so that in a nutshell is the theology of Christianity. And so one thing I agree with Christianity is when it took a big step forward in 1517 through the Protestant Reformation. Christianity had taken some steps backwards because there was really one main denomination, the Catholic Church, and so the Catholic Church had became corrupted, and so the Protestant Reformation basically made the religion more of what it was supposed to be, because the religion is not necessarily a religion; it's a relationship between you and God. And so the Protestant Reformation basically took the wall that the Catholic Church was trying to be between you and God, and it took that out of the picture, and it was now just you and God and your relationship with Him. And that event, the Protestant Reformation in 1517, is what I told my friend is what is the main reason for what we now call Christianity for being. So to understand Christianity, you must first understand what's going on with Judaism in the history, and then you must understand the life of Christ, because Christianity is trying to emulate Christ. Thank you for coming to my discussion. Have a nice day.